All right, if y'all are ready, we'll go ahead and get started. What you want to do ahead and please?
Join me in prayer, please. Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather and do the people's business. We ask you to give us courage to make the right decisions. And we ask you to be with those who are less fortunate and in need tonight. Comfort them in ways that only you can. We ask you to be with us through the remainder of this session. In your name. Amen.
Amen.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we are hopefully going out on Zoom with this. We'll see in a bit, I guess. Are there any changes to the agenda?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, make a motion, the agenda be approved.
Second.
All in favor? We need to approve the minutes from the November 17th work session meeting, the November 18th regular meeting, and the November 30th special call meeting. Are there any corrections to those minutes?
I move that be approved as written.
Okay, second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So we're not doing that, okay.
Next week.
Next week, okay. So the first item of unfinished business is a resolution for bids for an ambulance. I know somewhere on here it says how much. Here we go. $236,834. I'd like to speak to that, Chief.
Yes, sir. Back in September when we did the request for proposals for an ambulance, we were given a price of around $215,000 for a build on an ambulance, and then the remaining $5,000 was to fund put a radio, go-ahead radio in there so they could talk from the back and the front, and also for the striping of the ambulance itself. So we budgeted $220,000 back in September. That was the going rate. Since then, I did contact the owner of Custom Truck and Body Works. The chassis on the trucks have gone up $16,000 since September, and cost of goods have gone up 10%. So that equates for the $236,000. We would request $242,000 so we could get the striping on it and the radio.
Okay. I'll make a motion that that request be approved, and that'll open it for discussion.
I'll make a second. Is funding available for the additional amount?
Currently, what would have to happen is that additional amount would come off of the pot that we've got set aside for road paving, or wherever else we decide to put it, but that's been our, sort of our, whatever's left over went into that. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
All right. next item is discussion and possible action on memorandum of understanding to establish the school board as a sub-grant recipient of the county. Had some correspondence with David on that today. And what that was originally intended was so that the school resource officers could apply for the state's $1,000 grant that they're giving. And it was based on the assumption that school resource officers were school system employees and not county employees. We verified that they are in fact county employees and they're already covered. The money for them has already been requested from the state. So I would make a motion then, since that was the only purpose of this, that we table it.
Okay. Can I ask you a question before you second it, council? If it's not necessary, why take it, why not just remove from the agenda?
Because I thought that we were supposed to table them, just remove them. I don't really care.
Or if you table it, it has to come up again, right?
Whenever you call it up, you can table
Would-
something forever.
Would it be appropriate just to remove it?
Well, you're not gonna accomplish anything doing it out of the way, because they are definitely county employees and not employees of the school system.
Yeah, but what I'm saying though is, can we just remove this item, or do we need to table it?
The simplest thing would be to remove it.
I modify my motion to remove it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Okay. Rezoning for Tyler A. Whitlow from R1 residential low density to A1 agricultural. This was to achieve a zoning match, to have us for a small farm. I would make a motion that that be approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Second item is for Lewis and Andrea Bramlett from R1 residential low density to A1 agricultural. That's to combine adjacent parcels for conservation. I make a motion that that be approved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
I need to abstain in as much as that's a relative.
Okay. Next one is for Jeff and Angela Garland from R1 residential low density to R2 residential high density. This is to combine properties with existing R2 properties. I believe, was it 3 houses total that would be on that? 1 house, okay, and it's already there. I would make a motion that that be approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, next one is for Stony River Farm, from A1 agricultural to R1 residential low density. This is to split a parcel with 1 home built on it. And I would make a motion that that be approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next one is for Shannon Manning Writings from R1 residential low density to C1 commercial. This is to combine with a current commercial lot so that they can be sold, and this is located behind the ER and old hospital.
It connects to the health department.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you. I will make a motion that that be approved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Next one is for Miles and Casey Coleman. R1 residential low density to A1 agricultural. This is to combine with an adjacent parcel. And I would make a motion that that be approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes, he did.
Hubert, would you make a note that on this day she missed that? Okay. Next one is for Melinda Goebel. R1 residential low density to A1 agricultural. Okay, this is a 34.8 acre parcel that is split out 2 acres for a single family residence, and the remainder will have 3 homes, and all those already exist. So I would make a motion that that be approved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Nine and 10 kind of go together for Russell Vera Williams, R1 residential low density to R4. And I would make a motion that those both be denied.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Brings us to citizens wishing to speak. Anyone that would like to speak on any topic?
Well, it's always fun when I have to get up here. I'm just going to cut to the chase. There was a post on Facebook, which we all love politics on Facebook now. And unfortunately, it was an attack piece on Commissioner Ferguson. And I got thrown into the pool, so to speak, about my integrity sitting on that front row for the last couple of years. You may not have seen it, but I'm there to just defend my integrity and also yours. And in that post, this person, who I don't know, and I think it's a fake name as well, said, and I quote, "How do you get the job to video record the monthly Board of Commissioner meetings? How much does it pay? Is being married to a commissioner a prerequisite? Asking for a taxpayer friend," unquote. So I'm going to answer the taxpayer friend and give a little bit of history for those who weren't here. We all remember COVID, still hanging around a little bit too much. And during that time, the courthouse was pretty much shut down, except for essential workers, personnel. But the meetings had to go on. And so I volunteered my time to sit on the front row and broadcast on Facebook these meetings. 14 work sessions, 14 regular meetings, and special called meetings, I don't even know. Didn't think I needed to keep count. And I volunteered my time to do that so people could hear the proceedings that were going on here. And so to be thrown under the bus like this on in social media, not that like I said, I don't know this person, but unfortunately, people read this stuff and you can pretty much say whatever you want to out there. And a few people will believe it, and they'll run with it. So I really just wanted to clear that up, Chairman Bears, and ask you, was I ever compensated to sit on the front row and broadcast these meetings at all?
Never.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
There's another thing I want to say, and I may have to say this more than once over the next few months, is that LJ is a great town. When my father-in-law started bought property here in the late 80s, built a beautiful barn and cabin, and my daughter was married on that property. And we finally bought here in '99. He always said, this is the best small town I've ever been to. And they had traveled. And I've always said, from the very beginning, and I still say to people, LJ is the best town, but the people are even better. And I still believe that. And if I have to repeat that over and over again to counter the loud noise out there on social media, then I will be a spokesman. I'm not running for anything. I have a mentor that used to say, the only thing I'm running for is the city limits. And that is no more true now in my life than it ever has been. This is a great town, and I'm not going to let it get beat up on social media or be unwelcoming or unloving, because that's not what LJ is.
Right.
Thank you for answering my question.
Thank you, Hubert.
Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen of the commission, staff, and constituents. Feeding off what Mr. Ferguson just said, I agree, especially somebody of prominence. Family members should never, ever be brought into social media and used in webinars.
Right. Thank you. Okay, if there's no one else, discussion and possible action on budget amendments. The only thing that I have, and Sandy, I don't know if you've got more, would be to, in the money that's set aside for the modular building, not to increase or change the amount, but just to add the building on Proctor's Road as a qualified use for that money along with the other building. And I would make a motion to that effect.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Did you have anything, Sandy?
Don't we need to amend the budget to take care of the ambulance?
I'm sorry, to take care of what?
The ambulance?
The
Oh.
Ambulance. We just need to,
Yes, we do. Somehow I had in my mind that was a 22 item, but it's really not, so you're right.
There's 230,000 that was already set aside for that ambulance, so we need an amendment for 12,000
Okay.
to get up to the 242.
can I make a motion we approve that amendment?
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Anything else that we need on that? Okay. Appointment of a member to the Department of Family and Children's Services. Beth MacArthur is retiring, and I would make a motion that Tiffany Watson be approved for that position.
I'll second
All in favor?
it. Aye.
Next will be appointment of two members to the Board of Public Health. Curtis Kingsley and Tracy Wells, terms are expiring, and I would make a motion that those be reappointed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Appointment of two members to the Gilmer Pickens Joint Authority. Don Callahan and Lex Rainey's terms are expiring, and I would make a motion that they both be reappointed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Appointment of a member to the Planning Commission Board. Dorothy Logan's term is expiring, and I would make a motion that she be reappointed.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Discussion and possible action of a new emergency medical services billing company. This would be for MidCorp for EMS billing. I believe they bought out the folks that we're currently using, and we would need a motion to accept them to continue. I would make that motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Any other questions?
I'm sorry.
I thought you
We,
said.
we, we need to make sure this has been reviewed by council before you sign it.
Okay, yes.
With that caveat, I'll say yes.
And I will amend my motion to that. And having amended the motion, I'll ask for another vote. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I need about 5 minutes of executive session. The subject on that for the media folks here is what are we real estate. With that, I would make a motion that we go into executive session with no action anticipated.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, thank you, folks. Appreciate it. David, I'm going to need an explanation for Ohio State.
Look up Georgia. How's that?
Ooh, that hurt.
That was thankful.
But I should have worn my UC sweatshirt tonight.
I brought this especially for you.
I can counteract Ohio State with my Michigan, so we're good to go.